but you're doing
Whether it's
narrative
whether
too.
okay, I'm not doing narrative. No, it was
Yeah, this is
illegal,
rhetoric.
but it didn't matter. It's not rhetoric. It's
But
not
that's
rhetoric.
okay. That's all part
It's
of debate.
okay. And then yesterday, you saw the Birmingham shooting, right?
Yeah, I heard.
And you
I don't
spoke
know the
about it.
details, and I know that that count
Yeah,
keeps
but
going up.
you did not mention it again. You did not mention it again, Jeff. You never said nothing else about it. Why? Because
I
it was
did
a
come
bunch of
up.
black people. Because it was a bunch of
So you
black
think
people.
it's racist
That's what.
because I read a headline about the Birmingham shoot and didn't follow up on it? That
And
makes me
I think you
racist.
saw it. I think you saw it, and I think you saw it, and you seen which race it was, and you're like, okay, this is
Well, you can think whatever crazy thing you want to think, but that is
that's
just
my
not
opinion.
true. You can have it if you want to have a
That's my
false
opinion.
opinion about reality. I'm not going to try to rip that from you.
Okay,
Is there
all
anything
right.
else you want to debate?
And then was there anything else I wanted to debate? Yeah, Spike. Yeah, and then Spike the same way. How? Oh no, for with your
The other white guy,
situation here.
Joe Spike.
Who's the other? No, I'm talking to Spike. No, I'm actually talking
Oh,
to
okay.
you. Now you have the other white
S
guy, Mike, right? I know you don't like things about him. I was his protector. I was his savior
Wait,
throughout his.
we're not doing mic drama. That's not.
We're not
We
doing.
can do
I don't do mic drama. I don't do mic
politics.
drama.
It sounded to me like you
We're,
just were
we're,
talking
we're
about
doing.
Mike. So move
No,
on
we're
from
not
that.
doing. Oh yeah, we definitely. I don't do that. Yeah. Sacrifices we sacrifice. But what I want to understand from you is why do you feel that this doesn't exist? As like, what part are you part of the hateful right?
Cause I don't know. I'm not part of the hateful right. I'm an enlightened
So you don't
centrist.
know, you don't understand. You're from Louisiana, where
'Cause we don't
when
understand things down there. The good thing you have you here to explain it to me.
I got family in Alabama, bro. And I would never. I had my mom left Alabama because of things like that, because of how
I
that
believe
deep
that
dirty
because
South.
things like that happened in Louisiana back in my day, but they're not now. Like all of that
How
stuff
can you?
has,
It still happens. How can you
yeah,
say
but not to the degree it was back then.
what? What
Even in my
degree?
day.
Okay. So can I ask you a question, sir? Okay. So there aren't. Let's say there aren't. I'm not going to use that. Let's say there aren't robberies. There's no degree. There's no degree. This should
Yeah,
never happen. It should
there's
never be
free.
a degree. Like if you want
Well,
to say
there
that you're gay,
is.
right? So should there be a degree on gay people getting attacked
I
or
have
things
no idea
happening to
what you
gay
talk.
people?
You lost me, dude.
No, you said you don't believe that it doesn't. It
Right,
happens,
which you're
but not to the.
describing that your mom fled Alabama from is not happening at the same frequency as when she fled it from. It might
Oh,
still be happening, but not
it's
at the
happening.
same rate. It's improved, just like homophobia has improved. The people that harass me for being gay is almost zero compared to like 30 years ago, where it might be 9 or 10 here and there in any random group. So the number has been going down. That's why I say not up. And the fact that it's going down right tells me it's not a crisis. In fact,
But it's
I
not a
saw
crisis
today. I think
for. Well, it's not a crisis for Black Americans to be constantly
they're
number
not.
one
That's not
poor.
happening
It's
at a scale where
it's not
we
it's
need to
not happening.
prioritize it. Is what I'm saying. Just like the suicide
This
rates.
needs to be prior. But
You can
homosexuals and
individually
abortion
prioritize it, but we as a
is it,
nation, I don't think we need to
so
prioritize it.
what needs to
No.
be prioritized, Mrs. John? What needs to be
For
prioritized?
I think
Right
every
now,
American is free to determine that for themselves. For me, my number one thing right now is free speech.
free speech,
Yeah, keeping the internet free to speak on like it is now, instead of
but
having it
you
be
won't allow people. You
encroached
won't allow people to
upon
say
or
what they want to
restricted.
say.
Oh,
So how
this is
can?
not a free speech. I'm not talking about my channel. This is not a free speech zone.
So you're not talking about free speech. You're a hypocrite, like most
No,
MAGA supporters are.
no, I'm talking about free speech under the United States. Not
So
necessarily
free
what I
speech is
do
when a
here in my
police
little
officer.
private space.
So
I
when a
can make
police
this
officer.
as I'm
So like I'm
free
an
to
A1
make
order.
this as free or restricted as I want.
I'm an
I'm not,
A1
those are
order.
we're talking
I
about
was
two
A1
separate
order.
things.
No, a free speech. So like you would see me record a police officer.
You need to educate yourself on what free speech in the
I'm
U.S. is
very
because
well
it's a
educated.
very specific thing. It's not
It's
just
very
people being able to
specific.
talk whenever they want to talk.
So
That's
what?
not what
Who?
free
It's
speech
not
is, and
people
that's
being
not
able
what
to
I'm
talk.
talking about.
Who's supposed to tell me to shut up? And free in America, I should be able to
Well,
speak in
I'll
America.
give you me for one. There's one answer right now.
panel.
See how that works? This is not free
Yes,
speech.
on your panel.
Right.
But
So
your
I
point
wanted
is,
you to know the
so
difference
but,
and
yeah,
not
I
mistake
understand.
this for free
So
speech.
okay, so if a police officer, if I'm out recording the police or whatever, so a police officer should tell me I should shut up, or I should not speak, or I should sit down like a dog.
No, I
It's
mean,
free
I don't
speech,
know
right?
the situation of the law, but if you're just standing there innocent and not doing anything and filming, no, I don't think they
So
should say all
if
that.
I'm filming the police, or if I'm
But I
saying
don't know
words
if they're
out my
working a
mouth,
crime scene or what, so I just generally take direction from the police. But it sounds like you're maybe
sound like
instigating,
what?
kind of.
Sound like, oh, yeah, that's what we do, right? The black guys we just instigate.
No,
All
not
right.
the filming. I didn't see you. You're racializing everything and making it about your race. I didn't. I'm not referencing your race one time. So that's coming from you. It's projection.
Oh no, it's not projection. No,
It's subjective
no,
racism.
it's
It's
not. It's
not
not projection.
actually happening in reality. It's
No,
happening
'cause
in your
you know what?
head.
No, Jeff. You know what?
Yes,
Because
like
I'm a very
most of this
I'm very honest, right? I am like a very bigoted slash racist. Like, okay, I'm very honest about that.
against white people.
Against a lot of racism, white people are one of them. Yes, I am.
Well, see,
I
I'm
am.
not. So, like, to me, that makes you
Because
more hateful than me
a lot,
already. I don't
a
have
lot of
that in
people
me
don't.
toward any group.
How could you say that? And like towards any
Because
group.
I don't. I know how I feel about things. That's how I
So
can
how
say
did you
it.
say about what did you say about the Jews this morning?
I say a lot of things. What in particular? I
What
mean, I
did the
did.
Jews?
We watched the whole video on Israel today, so Israel came up a lot.
And okay, so you believe in genocide? Probably, yeah, I heard that
Where are
earlier
you getting this from, dude?
from your own
Did
mouth,
you
from your
hear
word.
me say anything about genocide on the stream today at
You
any
oh
point?
not on no, not
You
today,
said
not today,
something about the Jews, but I didn't say anything about that.
not
So, because it's a conspiracy, because the DOG is controlled by the and we're all their slaves, and it's a conspiracy against the people in the world. That's why they're doing it.
not
So
today,
you're
not today, not
already
today.
off.
A couple of days ago, you said about the beepers or whatever that
Okay.
Hamas are a bunch of terrorists. How is
Yeah.
Hamas terrorists?
Go
Hamas
look
has
up October 7th. That
Hamas.
was terrorism.
Okay,
And this
but
is
that's
Hezbollah with the
How is
pagers.
Hezbollah?
That's a known terrorist group.
Hezbollah is also a government.
So
Who,
what is
how,
it about the Jews you want to address? Because this debate's going to wrap up soon. You've already gotten way more than you asked
I,
for.
I,
You're very
I definitely,
generous. I'm a
I
benevolent
definitely do that.
dictator.
A benevolent dictator. No,
I don't want to throw you off. What about the Jews?
but no, you know what you said. You know what you said
I
earlier.
said, tell me what in particular, because I said a lot of things. If you have a specific thing that I said that you want to address, this is your opportunity. Otherwise, I'm going to send you on your way.
Well, no, you can send me on my way, Jeff.
All right, let's do that. All right, back to the show. And
So it turns out that Jeff, the champion of free speech, is a fraud on every possible level. For starters, he isn't qualified to be a counselor in any state of America. He admitted as much in writing, and has yet to provide any evidence to support the claim that he was. If that wasn't bad enough, he claims to love free speech. But as you're going to see in a minute, little Jeffrey decided his spurg about the Jews earlier that day wasn't good for his image, and decided to report me maliciously. Oh, Jeffrey, nothing leaves the internet, and you keep giving us more evidence of what you really are. Now, the big one coming up is that Jeff is possibly faking autism. There's definitely something wrong with him psychologically, but just listen to what he says next.
With the autism thing, I have some. I'm not gonna go into that story because it's personal. But who diagnosed you with autism? Because I had somebody this close to me. I'm like, how do you judge and say that your son is autistic? You just
uh,
decided to say that he's autistic out of
well,
nowhere?
when they're developing and in school, it shows up in different ways then than as an adult. But for me, it was
Who is the doctor who
self-diagnosis.
diagnoses you?
It was
Who is the doctor
self-diagnosis.
who diagnoses you?
Initially, it was self-diagnosis by recognizing myself in other autistic people, and then I eventually was able to get an official diagnosis added to my
Okay,
record.
so
But
I could diagnose
the
myself
best
the
way
same way.
to self-diagnose is to find other autistic people and see how much you reflect off each, like how much you
I
recognize
reflect on a
yourself
lot
in
of
them.
millionaires, and I want to be them, so I could self-diagnose myself as a millionaire.
Yeah, sure. Go ahead, see what happens.
nothing at all.
But millionaire is that's like a social category,
There was
but
no, okay,
autism
but
is
there was,
not.
okay,
It's
like with
developmental.
bipolar. No, it was the same thing with bipolar. They were saying that a lot of blacks and Puerto Ricans are bipolar with bipolar, and a lot of people were falling into it and saying, "Okay, I'm bipolar. I'm bipolar." You never went to the doctor. You never sought self help for yourself to call yourself bipolar. Nobody diagnosed you with this. You just made up a disease and say you have it all of a sudden. All of a
No,
sudden.
well, it's a real thing that people do get. I don't have it, but it's a real thing that people do get diagnosed with.
But
Is that what they diagnose you with? Is that what you're saying?
have I been diagnosed with bipolars and
Yeah,
schizophrenia? I take
I didn't
medication to
even know about
calm me
that.
down because like for my violence, I'm a very violent person. Like I'm violent. I'm a violent convict. Yeah, whatever. Anyway, I'm a
Well,
violent person,
I hope you have a
and
way to manage that at
I try not
least.
to be violent. I wish that, but that's just things you're born not born that way. Whatever. No, you're not born that way. Not at all. It's just whatever.
But you doing okay now?
Am I doing okay now? Yeah, of course I'm doing okay.
Okay, well, good.
Of course I'm doing okay. But this is not what I came
Did you
to.
get your 3 minutes or have?
Oh no, I got a cash app you in a second. Hold on. What is your cash app is there, right?
Here, I'm gonna put it in the back chat. I hope it
Are
works
you gonna
because I
dox
haven't
me?
been able to.
Are you gonna dox me?
No,
Oh shit.
I'm gonna put mine in the back. It's not gonna dox you. I'll put it in the main chat too. You just it's my name, Gen X Jet, but you
But
have to put a two
you threw
after it.
me off though. I wasn't able to have my debate with you for the 3 minutes.
Right. Well, I can give you that. Hang on.
Now
Let
what
me
are we? Yeah, you're like you totally. Yeah, you're very manipulative. You really are.
In what way?
Cause you just threw me off. I came up to do the
Well,
debate.
no, I didn't throw you off. That's your thing. I didn't do anything different than I would do any other time with anybody else. So if it threw you off,
It
we
was.
could readjust. But you got thrown off because of you.
I think that would be like something that Satan would do.
So, if you're keeping score, there's a bit of a pattern with our phony autistic counselor. Jeff supports free speech, except when it points out that he's a bad person and he's wrong. He thinks that racism doesn't exist. But if you're black and point out an experience or statistic that paints him as a bad person, you're racist. He's autistic because he says he is. He talks ad nauseum about a hateful left while being himself a hateful person to the Jews, women, and black people. Jeff loves the phrases gaslighting and creating a narrative because that is what Jeff does. He wants everyone to believe he's too stupid to be a bad person. He can't be racist because he's quote autistic unquote. He supports free speech, but you're not allowed to say anything he doesn't agree with, and if you do, he will try to silence you. This is about as much of this loser as I can stand for a while. Fortunately, I can go on with my life, while Jeff will still be a 53-year-old man in a group home, pretending to be a doctor to try and scam money off of YouTube. Hey, race another question before I go. Why does Jeff wear those antlers? He says it's because his devil horns broke. So how expensive would those be to replace? $30? But my guess is that the staff at his caretaking community won't allow him to have them because they're a danger to himself. And just like his pretend credentials, he will never explain this obvious lie. Take care. I'll see you later.